All good things must come to an end. And sadly, this is our last episode with Jerry Wilke. But we just may have saved the best for last. In this episode, Jerry boils down his decades of experience to some final dealership advice. So, if you had 2 or 3 things that you would tell dealership management today to be successful, boiling everything down from all of your decades of experience, what 2 or 3 things might you tell them?
I guess it comes down to, you've heard about the 4 Ps of marketing. Okay. Price, product, promotion, and placement. At Harley, we used to add another P, and that was people. But I'll give you 3 Ps today, and that's planning, process, and passion. Yeah. Okay. And I think that's what the dealers need to look toward going forward. Plan their business. This is way too important to just let your business happen. You really do need a good business plan. And what I'm talking about that is run your business by the numbers. Number 1, know your break even. Don't do things that you can't afford to do. And if you don't know your break even, what I mean by break even, I'm talking how many motorcycles do I need to sell this year to keep the doors open and to pay all my people and to pay the taxes? Then what does that mean per month? What does that mean per week? And in fact, if you want to break it down, how many do we have to sell today to stay on our plan? Yeah. Or we're going to be in trouble and somebody's going to put a lock on the door, like I was talking about a minute ago. Yeah. The next thing is keep your eyes outside and look for those cues that are other places. Join a 20 club. If you're not involved in one, make sure that you understand and have other people looking at your financials and having those courageous discussions with you about, does this really make sense, what you just decided to do? Or as I've seen it in some of the 20 meetings I've been in, hey, buddy, you've been dealing with that parts guy, and that parts guy is a problem. Yeah, well, he's my brother-in-law. Well, you know what? He's affecting the rest of the team, and either you do something about that or it's going to be a problem and he's going to take the whole place under. The last part of that planning is flexibility. I don't think any of us are smart enough to put the perfect plan together for the next 5 years. Right. I think if we're lucky, we can figure out the next 6 months. Right. And then after that, build flexibility into your organization and into your plans so that you're nimble enough to take the changes as they come and do what's right for you in your market. So that's the first P, is plan. The next one is process. And that is follow a process out there. There's certainly a process for engineering. There's a process for manufacturing. And I'll tell you, there's a process for sales, but there's also a process for marketing. We all know the process for sales, and it's about working the leads, and it's about the sit downs and on and on and on. That's a process that most everyone has embraced these days. If you haven't, it's time you do. But there's also a process for marketing. And now I'm talking about the artificial intelligence. Work smarter, not harder. And make sure all of those contacts are followed up on, all those leads are followed up on, and you don't waste time going down the wrong path. So that's that part of the process. And then the last one is what we've been talking about, and that is the passion. Nobody needs a motorcycle. You've got to want a motorcycle. And so who in the world is going to create that passion in your dealership if it isn't you, the dealer principal? Or if the dealer principal is off doing something else somewhere, that dealer principal better have hired a general manager who has that passion, hopefully some skin in the game in the operation, to make sure that that passion goes through the entire organization. And in a dealership, nearly every employee is in retail. They're bumping into the customer, and they better treat the customer like the king and queen that they are in the operation. And take that passion through. Willie G. Davidson said it best in 2003 in the anniversary celebration. He got up, and I'll never forget him grabbing that microphone, and he put it down into 4 words. We ride with you. That kind of passion, that kind of participation, that kind of connection with the customer is this culture that you talked about before, Mark. The we ride with you is the type of thing that will be something that the factory will never be able to do adequately directly. In my opinion, it has to happen every Wednesday night or every Saturday morning in every dealership in the world, as well as every time you encounter a prospect or every time you encounter a rider in the dealership. We ride with you. We are just like you. It's when I was with the California Highway Patrol and the Hells Angels. We ride with you. I was on my motorcycle to that same wet redwood run, and that was a common bond that is the foundation, I think, of our business.
Wow, that's just fantastic. And I can remember, do you remember the roar of the crowd? I was in the crowd when he made that comment, and the crowd just roared their approval.
Well, and the fact is, you'd have to know Willie to fully appreciate the fact that he wasn't making that up.
Right.
The fact that's who Willie G. Davidson was. He could be doing anything he wanted at that moment in time. And he chose to ride with his family across the United States to bring the anniversary home to Milwaukee.
That's right.
And, I'm old enough to have spent just a few minutes with Willie G's father. And I know where Willie got it from. Okay. William H. Okay. Was this guy who was together with Perkins, who was together with a lot of other dealerships out there building this business because he was a rider. And in the few minutes that I was able to speak with him at a get-together one night, long after he had retired, he impressed me by what he felt about the bond with the customer, but also with the dealer network and with things like racing out there, where it really does fuel that passion that we're talking about here today. And here we are 100 and how many years after the start of this thing and this business that we're in. And it's still that same passion. We just all have to figure out how to put that passion across. And there's no more important connection with the retail customer, in my opinion, than that dealer on every encounter.
Excellent. Jerry, I have enjoyed our time together today. Thank you so much.
I've enjoyed all of the time that I've had a chance to work with you, Mark. So if there's anything else that comes up, any other questions, or maybe we should just go for a ride sometime. I went for a great ride. I'm living down in the South right now, so fortunately, I'm able to leave some of that cold air behind. If you want to go for a ride sometime, I got an extra motorcycle in the garage. Let me know. I'd love to do it.
You got that right. That suicide shovelhead's got my name all over it.
It's got a foot clutch, a hand shift, and a kickstart, just the way God intended it.
Yes, that's right. Jerry, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Mark. See you on the road.
I received an email from a viewer saying, I could listen to Jerry Wilke all day. Me too, Bobby. Me too. Now, go make Jerry proud and go sell something, will ya?